Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and it's time for part 5 of the Monday Q&A. And that's good because I'm getting tired of listening to my own voice today. And hopefully you aren't though. So let's get this finished up. Yeah, let me give you guys another little pec bounce there. On a cut, can you bring up lagging body parts, e.g. arms? Yeah, if you're a novice, or you're doing your first cycle of steroids, probably. But for most people, gaining muscle on a cut isn't realistic. Now, we could talk about recompositioning at the same body weight way more than I get into here. I have other videos discussing recompositioning, but for the most part, when you are cutting and dropping body weight and you're not making new gains, you're not regaining old muscle lost from very large amounts of detraining, you're not blasting a lot of drugs, you're not going to be able to make any muscle gains, or at the very least not substantial or noticeable muscle gains. So how could you possibly bring up a lagging body part? It's just not going to happen. Your goal on a cut should be ideally to hold on to the muscle that you already have. And if you do that, if you can hold on to the muscle you have while you're cutting body fat, that's actually considered to be a very, very, very successful cut. So forget about gaining muscle and bringing up lagging body parts. You should have done that when you were bulking. All right, next question. Is it okay to double overhand grip deadlift with lifting straps? Does that count as a real deadlift in your opinion? Two different answers. The answer to the first question, is it okay? Yeah, it's perfectly fine, particularly if your goals are to bring up certain areas of your back. And look guys, you need to look at straps this way. They're a tool. They're a useful tool, nothing more, nothing less. They don't make you a better or a worse person. There are situations in which I personally use straps. I don't use them very often because as a power lifter, I need my grip strength. And I've developed enough grip strength that I don't have to use straps very often for things. I still use them for things like shrugs. I'll occasionally use them on Romanian deadlifts, because on those days my grip is maybe too fatigued, but I do all of my pulling without them. But if I'm ever in a situation where I'm trying to do a high volume of deadlifting and I know that my grip is going to give out near the end, I'm obviously going to strap up. I don't see a problem with it. And you shouldn't let your grip stop you from developing strength and lagging body parts. You can always do extra grip work afterwards, so strap up if you have to. It's nothing to be ashamed of, just be aware of the fact that you do have a strength imbalance that you need to address, and address it appropriately while still using the straps. Now, is it a real deadlift? No, it's not a real deadlift. And the difference is that you may very well find that if you're only barely strong enough to grip the weight and it's at the limits of your grip strength, that you may find that you can't actually deadlift what you can with the straps. And the reason is because you're having to put so much focus and energy into holding on to the bar without the straps that you actually can't generate as much force using the primary movers. So it's not always a true gauge of your true strength when you take the straps off. And two, for some people it can change the bar path and the movement pattern to be strapped up, because the way that you tense up and the way that you move things is going to be a little different. So it may not translate into true deadlift strength for you when you go raw. So no, I don't consider it to be a true deadlift. I would still call it deadlift with straps, not a deadlift. But again, just remember, straps are a training tool like anything else. Use them when they're appropriate and don't use them when they aren't. Alright, last question of the week. What is your personal pump-up song? I know that you are a fellow metalhead and curious as to what is your favorite. Alright, I change it up a lot. I listen to mostly metal. I occasionally throw like some old school gangster rap on my MP3 player and listen to. Right now I think the only rap song I have on there is the song Steel by Ghetto Boys. And I might have a 50 Cent song or two on there. I think I have High All the Time on there. But outside of that, it's mostly metal. And rather than break down all my favorites change week to week, month to month. I change it up a lot. I would say songs I'm listening to currently when I train. I'm listening to Hatebreed. Listening to In Ashes They Shall Reap. I'm listening to The Threshold by them. I've got some Superjoint Ritual on there, which again is a Pantera spinoff, and I think I've got Fuck Your Enemy and Waiting for the Turning Point. Those are songs I'm listening to a lot. I'm listening to a bit of Pantera. I've got Revolution Is My Name, Cowboys from Hell, and The Great Southern Trendkill. I've got a few songs by Two Steps from Hell on there. I think I've got some Dragon Force, Through the Fire and the Flames in my current mix. I've got at least one Darkest Hour song on there, and I can't remember the name of it at the moment. I've got Tool on there, the song Anima, and then I've got Cthulhu Dawn by Cradle of Filth. Those are, I think, mostly the songs I'm listening to right now when I train, and I may have a couple of Rage Against the Machine songs in there also. But it really changes up, guys. I usually keep about 10, 15 songs in a mix that I want to listen to, and it'll change week to week. But I'm pretty sure that's what my current playlist is. So that gives you an idea of what I listen to when I train. Alright guys, that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it has been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time. Let me give you guys a bicep shot before I go.